Okay, number 9 wants to find sine of 390. So let's find sine, or let's figure out where is 390 degrees. Well, if you go all the way around the circle, you're at 360 degrees. I need to go 30 more, so about here. So this is going to have the same coordinates as 30 degrees. So the coordinate at 30 degrees is root 3 over 2, 1/2, and sine on the unit circle is just y. So this is my y value, 1/2. Okay, number 10, tangent of negative 7 pi over 4. That's one of your unit circle radians. And if we go in the negative direction, so you have the positive direction and you have the negative direction. So if you start over here on the x-axis, you start over here. If we go in the positive direction, we're going counterclockwise. But the negative direction is clockwise. So we're going to go negative 7 pi over 4. If it's positive 7 pi over 4, I'm going, every pi over 4 is 45 degrees. So 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4. Positive 7 pi over 4 would be right there. But this wants negative 7 pi over 4. And so we're going to go in the negative direction. So negative 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, 7 pi over 4, right in the middle, in the first quadrant. Okay? And so if you have a pi over 4 coordinate, anything pi over 4, it's going to be those root 2 over 2's coordinate. When your first quadrant, it's positive, positive, root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. And tangent, we're doing y divided by x. And so that's your x, that's your y. We're doing y divided by x, and it's the same thing. So it's root 2 over 2 divided by the same thing. Root 2 over 2 divided by root 2 over 2, that's just going to give you a positive 1. So tangent of negative 7 pi over 4 equals positive 1. If it's in the first quadrant, tangent will be positive. Also in the third quadrant, tangent would be positive because you do a negative divided by a negative. If it's in the second quadrant, you're doing a positive divided by a negative, which would be negative 1. If it's in the fourth quadrant, you're doing a you're doing a negative divided by a positive, and that would also give you negative 1. So be aware of that. Tangent or cotangent would be 1 or negative 1, just depending on what quadrant it's in. All right, let's look at number 11. Number 11 wants us to find sine of theta. Well, let's draw our right triangle here. And it gives you the coordinate negative 15, 8. So that's my x is negative 15, my y is 8. And this is a triple, 8, 15, 17 is my hypotenuse. So let's now find sine of theta, which is opposite over hypotenuse, 8 over 17. Number 12 says sine theta divided by cosine theta. So that's tangent. It's telling me tangent of theta is positive. Remember, tangent is y divided by x. You got plus plus, minus plus, minus minus, plus minus. So in order for tangent to be positive, y divided by x, you got a positive divided by positive will give you positive. Also a negative divided by negative will give you positive. So it's in these two quadrants, which was quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. All right, number 13 tells us tangent's negative. So that tells me it's either in the second quadrant or the fourth quadrant. But it actually tells me this, exactly which quadrant it's in. It's between 270 and 360. So it's in quadrant 4 somewhere. So let's draw something in quadrant 4. Let's make a right triangle out of it. And let's put theta here by the origin. Okay, so tangent is opposite over adjacent. Well, my adjacent side's going to be positive 7. My opposite side's going to be negative 24. And this is a triple. 7, 24, 25. Okay. So now let's find sine theta. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Negative 24 over 25. All right, 14 through 18 are using this information right here. It tells us cosine is 5 over 6, and it tells us exactly where theta is. Theta is between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi. So on your unit circle, 2 pi is here, 3 pi over 2 is here. So we're somewhere over here. All right, they tell us cosine is 5 over 6. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Well, that's 5 adjacent, 6 hypotenuse. We have to figure this out. The opposite side. So the opposite side, we know it's going to be a negative y value. It's going to be a negative opposite side because it's going down. And so we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. You can probably figure out on the answer choices what the opposite side is, but let's go ahead and do the theorem just to show you how. And so we have our hypotenuse C. We'll have A, we'll call it 5. Let's try to find B. And so we're going to throw A squared over and solve for B. So B squared equals C squared minus A squared. B squared equals 6 squared minus 5 squared. B squared equals 36 minus 25. B squared equals 11. B would be the square root of 11. So my opposite side is going to be negative. It's going to be a negative value because you got a positive x and a negative y. It's going to be negative root 11. So now we got everything we need to find our trig functions on 14 through 18. So this one wants sine theta. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Negative root 11 over 6. Okay. Let's find tangent. Number 15 is tangent. Tangent theta would be opposite over adjacent. Negative root 11 over 5. Okay. Cosecant, number 16. Cosecant would be, it's sine flipped over, or 1 over sine. So whatever sine is, we'll flip it over. So sine is negative root 11 over 6. So we're going to do 6 divided by root 11, and it's negative. Negative 6 divided by root 11. And get rid of the root on the bottom. So times root 11. Root 11. It's negative 6 root 11 over 11. And that's number 16.